The Aspire Academy, the host to the first ever King of the Court finals, a new way in which we absorb beach volleyball. Well, it's a very fitting place for the first ever King of the Court finals, the host of the World Cup in just over a year's time. Well, the Torch Hotel shining brightly in the background as we get underway for the semi-final stage. And the drums are banging here as it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Rich Lambourne, welcome to the commentary box with myself, Louis Led. It's great to have you.
Great to be here. Great to be here. We're getting treated to a drum show.
Some of the best drum banging in all of Qatar.
Well, Soul Brothers, fittingly led by a woman.
Well, that's a good time for us to have a little look at the rules for the King of the Court, as we have 5 teams. To score a point is very different than traditional beach volleyball. We have to score at the King's End. The other teams will be serving to challenge away. And if you draw the king at the very beginning in a minute, you will be the king. But you have to score at the King's End. Round 1, 5 teams, 15 minutes. If you're bottom of the pack, well, then you're a goner. 4 teams go through to the next round, and it's exactly the same story. You come bottom, and you leave the competition. And the final is a race to 15 or a 15-minute round. Well, slightly different this one, Rich. We lose the 5th place team, and then the 4th and 3rd place team go through to the playoffs. And it's getting pretty exciting. We've had some great playoff games already today to get to this stage, but now we're in the men's semi, and it's going to be a great round, I think.
I would agree with you. We're certainly into the money rounds. We've seen great action start to finish in this tournament, but this is where the rubber's really starting to meet the road here as we're down to the semifinals, and the first men's semifinal at that.
We see the beautiful Torch in our picture previously, home to some of us this week. It's Brian, we just saw, didn't we, a moment ago, the King of the Court just advertised on the Torch, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, they've got the wraparound LED lights on the Torch. And so they spell out Aspire Zone, and they're spelling out King of the Court for us while we are staying here in Doha.
Well, we've met the officials, and the King of the Court is now shining in the background. You can see it on the Torch, but here are, Rich, maybe the big surprises. They certainly are the main surprises from this competition. Oman have come through the qualifier, and they've not been in a playoff yet. They've been in the top 3 every single time, and here they are in the semi-final.
Yeah, they've played some great volleyball. Al-Hashmi and Al-Shiriki. And these guys, we saw them have to fight for their lives right out of the gate, and then they've been playing some great ball ever since then, getting better and better each round.
Yes,
Adrian Gavira and
the opposite. Oh, you want it. Let's do it. Ride it. They are our ponies, the Poniflas brothers from Germany, very much, well, podium team in this format of the game already in the summer. They're back playing really well. Oh, go on, Rich, you do it.
Yeah, there's my guys right there, Flo and Marco.
Well, they won in Utrecht 2 years ago, almost. The Klassikas had a good little run with Maurice Pristas, who we spoke to earlier on. But now back with Flo, and they're a team to really watch out for. Their game suits the style real nice.
Yeah, we saw Marco just putting up an absolute wall yesterday.
And finally, the jump-setting, bottle-flipping, rapping and dancing Swedes make their way out to the show court. They're the World Under-21 champions even. They won the King of the Court in Utrecht, and they're back here playing really well. I mean, in this round here, we really do have, I'd say, 4 favourites for this competition. Really, Oman, I mean, we say every time Oman surprise us that we shouldn't be surprised, but it would be surprising to see them get through here.
It'd be surprising to see them finish in the top 2, I think. But I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to count them out.
See, it takes me a little while longer. I keep repeating the same mistakes many a time before I learn any lesson in life. So I'm gonna keep doubting them. The other thing is, if I keep doubting them, they're gonna keep performing, and that's pretty good. The Swedes with the ace. So who's the king card? That's a
pony. The pony's got it.
That's a pretty quick pony. Thoroughbreds.
Yeah. Who do you like as your top 2?
Who do I like as my top 2? I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to go the Swedes and Flo and Marco with the ponies in 3rd.
Okay.
But I can't not do that to Spain. That's the thing. Spain can also side out easily 10 balls in a row, so I don't know. I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
Sorry, Gavira and Ali Huerta. I know I'm going to see you later.
Yeah, I would choose the same 2 teams.
But then the ponies seem like they train perfectly for this game. As we said yesterday, they're so difficult to track around the court, like inside, outside, reverse plays, up and downs galore.
And a slick attempt early on from Marco Kradiger, tried to sneak in before it was his team's turn.
No jump setting, passing off the net. Good move to the line. Sees it really nice. Oh. Give it Arman.
Yeah, really nice shot. Nice pickup. That ball is always such a hard ball to defend, the one that's short. You see David Amon just launch himself at it.
It's also quite a nice swing from that short ball to be able to open up and still access the line from there. Oh, Flo, there it is. That's your guy. Rich Lamborn does have a habit of cheerleading.
Those are my guys. Great dig by Flo Breer in the backcourt, but handled in transition by the Swedes and put away for their 2nd point.
Is that you singing?
I mean, this song is infectious, isn't it?
It certainly is when we're having this much fun. And that's something that we do enjoy here, is having a lot of fun. The players have certainly enjoyed it. We're having a great time as well, Richie, aren't we? So much on this Armin Helvik speed over the top, and you can make that read, Oman, in the backcourt, but that was just too quick off the knuckles. Somebody was saying yesterday, they like playing with speed, don't they, Rich? And they're trying to quicken up the transition. We saw Razzie yesterday, the head coach, exactly those sorts of situations. They're undefendable.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake for Marco, if we're quite honest, because David, not much of a chance to do anything other than hustle and set that ball.
Paying too much respect to the 2-ball.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's one of the kind of ancillary benefits of the game that the Swedes play is you start to second guess yourself, right? Because you never know what's coming.
Well, 5 already. There is the 2-ball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Such good control on that wrist, right?
Good control on the wrist, but also very good control in the fact that accessing the right side of court there is not easy. The arm swing has to be so good to open up that avenue in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's the jump set put away that we're used to seeing from this young pair.
So young, so good.
They may as well get their way into the next round already, Rich. I can't see 8 not going through. Everybody else on 0 at the moment, as the Swedes have just found their rhythm off the bat. Very humble young men as well, the Swedes. Very nice indeed.
Yeah, we talked with their coach Razzie yesterday. You know, they're coming off a little bit of a break, so just rounding into shape. A nice move that time there from Al-Hashmi, blocking in the angle.
Oh, Al-Hashmi. Just making a little dive into the angle.
Chance for their first point here.
Oh, off the chin. Let's go, Flo.
Attaboy, Marco. What a great play all the way around. Great dig from Al-Shariki. Great hit from Al-Shariki off, as you said, the chin of Flo.
I mean, the delay and the reach from Kratiger, insane. And now they're getting their campaign underway here. Yeah. Are you now having a little whisper away to Lenny Kravitz?
It's karaoke time as far as I'm concerned. That's set just a little wide.
How are you with the Blues Brothers? Any good? There's proper karaoke songs.
Yeah, that's this is not my jam.
I didn't think so.
That was too many contacts. But
well, the ponies, yeah, nice rip.
I guess it's an interesting rule in volleyball, beach volleyball, that the joust just doesn't count as a contact. Not sure how you can be contacting the ball, but it counts as nothing, essentially.
When obviously the block does and everything else is an addition anyway.
Yeah, there are a couple hiccups in the rules of beach volleyball, such as you can't open hand contact it unless you're a blocker and the ball comes over, then you can just do anything you want to it. Nice reach there from Adrian Gavira.
What I quite like is we both said we weren't rules guys earlier on in the week, but we like to have an opinion on the ones we do know.
Well, I'm not a food guy really, but I know what I don't like.
Amen. Chase is on.
Oh, Marco.
Bump Cuddy.
I mean, how about the distance that he covered there?
Nice swing.
And just pure athleticism on display there. I know I'm a little bit of a fanboy of the Swiss team, but that was unbelievable.
A fanboy?
Yeah.
I thought you ran the fan club.
Yes, yeah. Well,
chairman.
I don't communicate with any of the other fans. I just have my own kind of situation going.
Your own fan club.
It's you know, it probably borders on the creepy.
That's okay, man. At least you admit it. It's the first sign. First sign of an unhealthy habit.
There you go. Yeah, the first step is recognizing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right side, B-Pony. David Arman running that little flat set to the stick before hammering away from the body. Sweden are back where they've spent most of their time in this opening round.
Great serve there from Flo. Just into the body of Arman. Couldn't get out of the way.
It was those sorts of serves that won him Utrecht, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was full go time, full send, as it were, from the Swiss in Utrecht a couple years ago, and that got them the crowns.
What Gavira needing some points. I mean, another great ball control team. Someone's on the net there.
Yeah, Al-Hashmi got it on the way up, I think.
Hashmi, as we've got another guy downstairs in Julius Brink who's watching on the eagle eye of Julius Brink. And we're going to try and get down and talk to him at some stage.
Yeah, it's hard to guess where his allegiances are in this, as there are no German teams.
Well, that was what was interesting me, is the fact that, in theory, he's a big German fan, obviously, and it'd be nice to hear what he thinks regarding this round, because we've given who we think the top two will be through to the final. And at the moment, we're not far wrong with who we said might top it. I love those plays, like short inside, run it flat to the stick, go over the top of the block, like, yeah, nice.
Yeah, and it's really kind of fascinating. I was just watching Kratiger's eyes there. I mean, they're going all over the place because he's got.
Of course you would, because that's what ultra fans do.
That's right. That's right. I was staring deeply into his eyes during that play, and it's fascinating to watch how much information you have to try and gather, because the Swedes are all over the court.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to look for any inkling of where that ball's going. Iwata has a rip on him, that's for sure, but this time out the back.
Right. Nice put away there, Marco Kratiger. Julius, we're wondering, with no German teams in this round, where do your allegiances lie? Who do you think is going to come through here?
Yeah, you know me a little now, huh? For sure, I put on credits to Arman Helvig. I think I did this in every bracket they are in. But as mentioned before, or said yesterday, I mean, they are on their peak so far. They won the Under-21 World Championships, and as their coach just announced yesterday, is that they are using this off-season period where many teams are in to prepare and close the gap. So I think everyone can see that they are pretty sharp. Also, watching their athletic is already on another level, which other teams are trying to build up. But I think it's going to be tough for Oman here, which has been dark horses all over the last 2 days. But I think it's going to be critical for them. They must score now, I would say, to somehow pretend on scoreboard. Yeah, and then it's also a tough race for Herrera Gavira because they are not having a proper high standard blocker. I would say that comes more and more a factor. But yeah, prove me wrong, Reg.
Okay, well, I think we're in agreement that the Swedes are topping the table. Certainly, they got out to a great start in this opening round, already on 10. And what Louis and I were saying is we've learned better than to doubt Oman, as they have 2 on the board now and are level with Gavira and Huerta. I mean, they've just continued to surprise us, and you know, it's kind of fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, I could be shamed because I did doubt them a little bit in this bracket because I just can't see the weaknesses of the other teams at the moment. But
no, but I mean, it's just great, and it also proves their performance level. And this is also part of King of the Court, that a team coming from qualification makes it right into the semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the first time that I've witnessed a qualification here at King of the Court, let alone to see them go all the way through. With the 5 minutes at the moment, it's the Ponies who are currently sat in the basement, Rich, and maybe that was something we did not expect here, because the Ponies, actually, guys, Julius, you still with us?
Yeah, my assistant over here was just about to change batteries. Sorry.
I think fool us all, because there are German representation in the Ponies.
Yeah, that's a full misspeak from me.
That's a full one from all 3 of us.
Yeah, it's aside from the Swedes, who are well out in front on 10, it's kind of anybody's ball game here for those other spots with just 5 minutes to go here in round 1. Obviously, the 5th place finisher will see the end of their tournament. 3rd and 4th place will have a chance tomorrow, and obviously the top 2 going straight into the finals.
Yeah, like 5 minutes for the Ponies, because Oman, they're just chipping around the block a lot, aren't they? They're playing a smart game, Julius. There's 3 or 4 points in a row over the top of Gavira, and you did say they haven't got the stand-up blocker, as you said, and maybe that's something that they're targeting on Spain. Playing smart, and they're avoiding Kratiger when he's at the net as well.
Yeah, you know, if I were playing against Oman, I would think that going after the left-sider would be the better way to go. The lefty that plays the right side is just so hard to read. He's got those little teardrop shots. He's got pace. And then obviously, I don't know, lefties just have kind of some extra special sauce sometimes, I feel like. Nice swing there across body.
Typical way of playing here from Sweden. Just always having a second hit option. Here, same thing from the other side. Finishing this time with a line shot, not a hot-driven one. It's good to see these 2 options they play on both sides, just in one side or to another.
Absolutely. The Ponies are chasing the game here, and they need to start making it count, because Armin is now served. That's interesting. There's a change-up, and there's a fabulous set from Jonathan Helvig there, because the ball's really outright. Brings it back into the middle. It's a perfect set, Richie.
Yeah, with tempo and everything, just really keep themselves in system so well.
I mean, the funny thing is here, Julius, is teams are serving either one of the Swedes, and neither of them look like they have any problem at all.
No, but you can see like their strategy to put on pressure on service, which is what you need to somehow break their way of playing.
Absolutely.
Here, if you let them play like that, then they are almost unstoppable, I would say.
Well, Flo, trying to take the 2-ball there from the Swedes, but 2-ball hits the sideline.
Yeah, there was another thing Razi was telling me the other day, that it took them, let's say, 4 to 5 years until their passing has been changed, because it looks so easy to pass the ball to get a second ball or to hit the second ball hard driven, but it's not too easy to find that right spot to either hit it or set it, and the setting thing is lateral, you know. He's not turning like he did here. That one was non-jumper, but yeah, it was really nice to talk with Razzie about it. Maybe we can get him in the live feed and get him some explanation about it. Like, this was not the lateral one. Like, the perfect side out there trying to create is like a very aggressive pass, and then the lateral set, or like the attack out of the second ball without any blocker. Here you see, yeah, that was a bit too close, and that's the pity of it. If the pass goes a little bit too aggressive, you almost miss every chance to set or to attack it.
The good work there, though, is the knuckle to the sideline was a real good one as well, and just shows that if you miss and you miss aggressive, you've still got chances to score with the knuckle, trying to turn it to the sideline, doing something.
Yeah, and it's an excellent point, Julius, and some interesting insight that they spent so many years working on the style of passing, because they pass the ball kind of a lot higher than a lot of teams, right? And it's part of their offensive system, so they have that option. And it takes, there's a good example right there. Even though they don't jump set, that gives them some time to move around and kind of run those different options at you. But that certainly does take time. You don't have like a fixed location, you know, like a setter indoors that you're aiming at. You just have to kind of throw the ball up there, and it takes tons and tons of repetition. They've certainly put in the work at such a young age already.
They're having a phenomenal run here. Again, great insight from Julius down court side, and going down lateral passing higher at a time when some teams are trying to pass lower to take a little bit of time away from the opposition. That's a great swing. The fact that he can rip the line so well on this right side on two is something for me that I really enjoy about like Arman's game, because it is such a tough swing when coming in on more of an angle, and the defender will more than likely sit on the body line of the spiker more so than sit on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to see what, yeah, the pony's a little bit desperate here, hoping for a missed serve.
2, 1.
And now this will be interesting to see which team is dismissed on two.
It's a huge point, really, for...
Yeah, did Huerta and Gavira get both of their points in succession? It seems like Adrian knows the answer to that already. We'll get confirmation here in a second. I'd also like to get confirmation from our stats people if anyone's ever scored more than 26 points that Aman and Helvig just put up in the opening round here.
I mean, it was an incredibly impressive performance. In some ways, that took us away from focusing on the basement battle of why this round was quite important, because of the bottom team leaving, but the ponies are the bottom team. They will be leaving. We'll miss them because they're a great advert for this sport.
We will, and certainly Julius's heart is going to be broken as his German compatriots have to say bye-bye. Julius?
No, Richie, I'm asking lovely questions to these guys, but they look quite disappointed. I mean, if the Swedes blocking with 26 points, the king side, it's so hard to get in there. What has been missing?
Obviously our serve. I mean, that's our joker. That's the joker that pretty didn't work out well. So, but we had our chances on the king side, but we didn't play well side out. And honestly, it just felt like the warm-up pretty shitty the whole day. But yeah, at the end of the day, we are still proud to play the semifinal.
What happened in the warm-up? What happened?
Yeah, not much.
And let's talk about that tie. I mean, that's at the end. It's a bit of bad luck here at King of the Court. You scored that second point very late. I mean, it's the longest stay then to the opponent team. Like, sometimes it's bad luck, right?
Yeah, but honestly, with just 2 side-out points, we didn't, deserve it.
Yeah, that's very honest. But please enjoy Doha. I know you're leaving tomorrow. Thanks for having you. And good training back in Germany. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Julius.
Well, 3 very honest Germans sharing a conversation.
That's right. You can always count on the Germans for honesty. Yeah, and I like that they said I don't feel like we deserved it anyways.
There you go, longest stay, 16 points. Pick that out. The jump-setting Swedes. The problem is now is they can still go to the playoffs. And they may have just exerted too much energy, which is my one concern for them. Because the way they played, 26 points in one round.
Yeah, that's the beauty of being 21 years old, though. I think you have energy in reserve. So I'm not too worried for them. Just a phenomenal performance, though, in that opening round there. And as we mentioned, the team from Oman continues to surprise us, although it's no longer a surprise at this point, right?
Shame on me.
Yeah, they assure themselves a spot in tomorrow's action one way or another. Will they ascend into the top two?
What happens if you fool me 55 times?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it vacillates back and forth or if it's just always shame on you.
Yeah, I think it's always shame on me from now on in. But they keep making some good moves defensively. Yeah, he's on the move, but we see Christian Sorum on the move when he's trying to make a read at times.
Oh yeah, that's kind of an evolving part of the game, is that digging on the move.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Flo made the right read there, but just couldn't come up with the dig.
The Wenger boys are coming.
There you go.
Surely this never made it to the USA, did it?
Oh, I know this song. Wow,
Get
what
up.
a stuff there. Helvig, we've seen some great blocking. Here's another look at it.
More points, they're on 3 already.
He almost looked like the Bolton family sigil, you know, the... No, you don't know? No, not a Game of Thrones guy?
No. I wish I was. I feel like I missed out, but you know, once you missed out by so much, it's a bit tough being the guy that finds it delayed.
I guess so.
Same time, I have to say, the way that he can manage to bend his run and look to the line and then just rotate with the upper body and turn it back isn't as easy as it looks.
No, yeah, nothing about what they do is as easy as they make it look.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Raz, speaking a lot about Raz, done a phenomenal job, but he did say yesterday they have another level. He's like, we haven't seen the best level. And he also said that he doesn't think the side-out percentage here and the efficiency has been anywhere near as high as what he thought it would be from the Swedes and everybody else as well.
Well, that in and of itself, I think, is a little bit of insight into what makes the Swedish team, including their coach, so great, is that he's here dissecting side-out percentage of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
When most everyone is here kind of having a good time and just going out there and competing as best they can. They're talking about side-out percentages and how can they increase their level.
It's sort of the same attitude that has been very present with the beach volley Vikings, like coming off the plane from the Olympics and going straight to Vienna to win another European Championship, and everyone was absolutely shattered at that point, but they keep going because they want to get to the top.
That's right. That's just what you do.
That's a great serve from Adi Watt there. I mean, what I liked about the last round is that Kavira knew exactly what point of the game we were at when he was serving in that last point. You know he was going through. Two of life's very good guys down here from Spain, and they're siding up. Oh, they're not quite siding out yet because someone is there again. Honestly, this pull back to the line that he's got is gross.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, great wrist there. Swing off the top. And just when you were worried that they might have gassed themselves out in round one, they sit on 7. 6 points clear of the next team, which is Marco and Flo.
Just ripped a 2-ball from 3 meters off the net.
Good to be young and wildly talented.
I'm neither.
Yeah, right. Myself, I would consider the same.
Wide and over the top. Again, has to be trying to track the offensive run of the opposition, but no avail. Again, back to the line. And they're flying here. I mean, they've got to be careful because, I mean, they're insane at this moment. but they have another round, and that is also important to know that the next round is key because the top two go through to the final.
Right.
3 and 4 go to the playoffs.
We would have to consider it an amazing injustice if they got 26 and then whatever they're going to put up here already on 13 with over 10 minutes left to go in this second round, and then they somehow petered out in the third round.
Yeah,
I like their chances though.
I like it too. I mean, you can't doubt what we're seeing at the moment. It's I mean, how many times did you squeeze the line on the 2 ball, the 3 ball from the inside, from the outside? How was that one for you, Richie?
That was well executed right there.
First play. Kratiger has done very, very fine work there.
Real good handwork up there by Big Marco.
Once again, you can see his eyes, as you mentioned earlier, trying to pay attention to everything that's happening in front of him. Now they get a chance to catch up a little bit because everyone else's time at the King's End has been few and very, very far between. Oh, missed opportunity for the Swiss. And this is Oman's chance to get their way into the final 3. A little bit underneath it from Al-Shiri. Touch from Ali Huerta. Yeah! Get up, Adrian Gavira.
Started with a nice little flipper from Ali Huerta.
Another big local jam in the background. It's great to see so many people in here really enjoying the show.
An important point there for the Spaniards.
Oh, they think there's a touch here. There is a touch off of Helvig. And there's tied at 2. Zaman in 4th place at the moment. Huerta just rocked back slightly, now hitting from off the net. It's a real good touch. Bria's there with him.
Some good effort on the Swiss side, but that shot ultimately too good from Huerta.
Yeah. Playing for so long with Pablo Herrera, who's coming back from a knee injury nicely. Talking to Fran Marco, the head coach of the Spanish program earlier on.
What a great play. Excellent dig from Al-Shariki in the backcourt, but just too good from the side of the Spaniards.
So just really enjoyed Gavira's just layup, putting it in on 2 for Huerta. Good volleyball round. And you've got to be worried here if you're your boys from Switzerland who are next up to fire away. Oh, it's a big serve. Superb side out from Spain because the serve from Flo was a rocket.
Yeah, they're fending off some very, very tough serves right now.
Just got rocked back and took the back set. Might take the back set again here, no. Stays with a diagonal approach inside and difficult ball to swing at when you pass off the net, have to kick out on an angle on the right side because you run out of room in the angle.
Yeah, that ball that has to cross from behind you and all the way across your body. Very difficult as a right-hander from the right side. Marco a little disappointed with himself there. Made the right move, just couldn't control the touch.
Good dig. Chance for Oman here. Oh.
Just missing that. I love how aggressive Al-Shariki is in transition, though.
Al-Shariki is... They're indoor players, primarily, aren't they? And they said they had a cheeky comment walking off because they've been knocking some of the beach pros out. So shrugged their shoulders and said, hey, we're indoor players and they're pros. What's going on?
Yeah, there's... That's a little bit of a downplay, I think. I mean, there's some truth to it, but these guys have clearly played a fair amount of beach volleyball. There's some of the moves that Al-Hashmi, for example, is making at the net, and his prowess with some of those shots. Those aren't indoor shots that he's hitting out there.
Yeah, absolutely. They've settled into this level nicely. Yeah. Oh, Gavira goes long. 17-2-1-7. It's a good run for Gavira Huerta because they've got their way in. You'd say at the moment to the final three. Kratika fighting out with Oman here. Oman trying to get their way down. Helvig runs on the reverse.
Nice.
Had to.
Nice, yeah. Another great dig from Al-Shariki.
On the turn, off the hands.
This will be our last serve going into the 5-minute technical timeout.
Helvig.
So the Swedish kids are now on 20 points with 5 minutes remaining. They hung 26 in the first round. I mean, yeah.
They've signed out 46 balls in 25 minutes.
That's right. It's pretty unbelievable. Pretty unbelievable. Shockingly, they haven't yet assured their spot in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do it again if they want to go through, because we lose one to the playoffs now, and we lose one to the playoffs in the final three even of this semi-final. The Swedes looking slightly gassed down their court side.
Yeah, even a 21-year-old can get gassed, apparently, when you side out 46 times in 25 minutes.
It's insane, really, when you think of it like that, isn't it?
Insane.
When you think about the way that they side out too, with the jump setting, the extra energy that they use in almost every skill that they have.
I mean, it's more than double, maybe more than quadruple the amount of side outs from all the rest of the competitors combined.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is also the way these guys play is they go 100% of the time.
That's right. Nice block there from Gavira.
And maybe there's a little bit of tiredness in David Arman there. But who knows?
No, they would be wise to kind of, rest up, as it were, for the final round. Oh, big stuff. I mean, just great technical blocking right there. Dove into the angle, but really pressed far over the net. Nice job.
Yeah, it gets pretty interesting now, Rich, doesn't it?
It does. This is a critical stay here on the King's side. Wonderful dig.
Just here. Just this one action. The dig from Oman was really good again. He gets himself into some really good defensive positions. As you were saying earlier, the reading off the ball. Sitting in the power line pretty late and making a pluck. And
that would be, if it is as they characterize themselves as indoor players, one of the advantages you might have is, as hard as these guys are hitting it out here, it's still not quite the pace you're used to seeing in the indoor game.
Absolutely.
So, he's not going to be shocked in the backcourt at anything that's coming at him, Al-Shariki.
Is there anyone in your career, Richie, that you would say stands out as giving the ball a little bit of extra heat than anybody else?
I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, Jiba absolutely thumped the ball. My own teammate, Clay Stanley, hit a heavy ball.
Certainly did.
Yeah, you had, some Russians. Remember this guy, Semen Poltovsky, hit the snot out of the ball. Really, no one babying the ball in the international men's game.
Absolutely. Oh, great turn.
Yeah, great kind of hang and chop right there. Al-Shariki. They look smoother and smoother as time goes on.
Big fan of this song as well. Luke doing an unbelievable job as we're at 2:30.
Good court awareness, and I mean, not only do they put up numbers when they're on the King's side, they seem to get to the King's side at will, the Swedes.
Yeah, that is almost what Julius was talking about earlier, right? That ball was a perfect, like sitting up perfectly from...
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, under the heading of making things look really easy that are very difficult, he did that on a short serve.
Yeah, exactly.
So he had to get his feet there and in a small window put up a high ball for his partner, and he did it.
A lot of moving components. Oh, good time to make one from Klasiger, but he's been forced off. Big Bad Baz telling him to remove himself from the King's End. Hashmi. Oh, reaching in is Gavira, but to no avail. And 1:19 on the clock. Rich Lamborn and for Oman. We might just see for the first time them drop into the playoffs unless they can start to make it count now. And this is what this game is all about. When the chips are down, can Oman save their best till last? Pressure ball. The late move into the line from Ali Huerta. Oh, and it's a fantastic touch. Like, sorry, mate. Sorry, I tried, hey.
Yeah, that was there was no shortage of effort there.
Huerta.
Yeah, great shot into the corner from Huerta. Yeah, I think that'll pretty much wrap up our three that'll go into the final round, as I don't think Oman will have another chance to get over here. Or will they?
This is it. I mean, no wonder your guys from Switzerland are taking it easy. 16 on the clock. They need a side out here. Flow from the right side, charging in angle, going to the line.
That'll do it. Timely side out, and they kind of celebrate, and rightfully so. Oman will still have another shot at it tomorrow, but we'll see Spain, Switzerland, and Sweden, just to keep it alliterative, battle it out.
Oh man, it's going to be a struggle of 15 minutes for me. It's going to be getting all types of mixed up. But congratulations, hats off to Oman, because they've come here through the qualification, and we're going to see them again in the playoff. Incredible. They're fighting to the very end. They have good skills.
Yeah, they outlasted another seasoned team in the Pony Brothers, and they'll live to fight another day, and that day will be tomorrow. Just a fine performance from them. We saw a lot of great defensive plays from them. There was the one, kind of the critical one right there that they weren't quite able to convert. that was the coaching dialogue right there. Like, go ahead, use 2 hands.
Yeah, come on, man. Not get 2 hands on that one.
Yeah, but we will get to hear from them. And our boy Julius down on the sands. Just some great volleyball we've seen start to finish from Oman. And by start, I do mean start. All the way from the qualifier to tomorrow's final action. Julius?
Boys, congratulations. You're not out yet. You're in the playoffs tomorrow morning. But did you expect coming here, making all the way from qualification and still believing in your chance to make it to the final? I mean, our commentator Rich just said, best credits to you. What a performance. Did you believe in it?
In the fact, no, not expect that. But I see many teams, good teams, Olympics teams. Living before me, these rules of the king of the court, a little bit you need full attention, full control. Yeah, but yeah, we made a good level. We can stay until now. I am happy, very proud. Yeah, for the first time I play with Mazen. Yeah, it's very nice to beginning the year like this. We take a silver medal in West Asia. And now we make this performance here. So yeah, I'm happy. It's nice.
Yeah, and we can see you playing. It's not coming from nothing. I mean, just in the moment you've been eliminated, you've been discussing about that last 15 minutes. You talked to each other. What did you say?
We can do it. Yeah, we have time. Yeah, and we got the chance, but unfortunately, yeah, that's it.
It's good that you believe in it. We're going to see you tomorrow here in Doha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Wow. Nice to hear from them. We never heard from them, have we? We haven't met them, and it's good to hear their story a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of the interesting thing. It can be good, but also bad to have done interviews, right? Because you either won a round or you were removed from competition. Yeah, so that was our first chance to hear from them. I love how kind of soft-spoken he was, Al-Shariki. And interestingly, their first time playing together as we kick off the final round here of men's semifinal A.
Well, Sweden starting, and I mean, I don't know how many they ended up on in the previous round, but we had 46 side-outs with 5 minutes still on the clock. I mean, some training session this for them physically, really. But they want to win this final, and they want to do it in style by the looks of it every time they get out there.
Yeah, and if the first 2 rounds were any indication, this thing might be over in a hurry.
Yeah, 15 points could come and go. It's absolutely incredible. Ali Huerta.
That's a good call from Big Boss.
Yeah, as Julius Brink is down there courtside, just getting amongst the dance moves with Luke. But call for a carry. Oh! And then back to the line.
Yeah, it's hard to get a knuckle over Marco, huh? He times that so well.
And we spoke about his eyes earlier, and those little moves there in the swab block are credit to his eyes, paying attention all the time, delaying his timing to what he sees.
It does help to have impressive hang time like he does, but it starts with the eye work. How about this? Oh my goodness. The accidental short shot.
That'll do. And 2 teams going through to the final then, with 1 team going to the playoffs as well. That's big work. Hey.
It was a good shot at the eye work of Marco.
He's certainly awake, isn't he?
Yeah, we use the term ball setter, ball hitter a lot in the States, as far as what you should be, the kind of the sequence you should be following with your eyes. And that was a nice look at it. He was on the hitter, he was on the ball, he was back to the hitter. Nice serve there from Flo, right in the corner. Can see the Swedish kids moving a little bit more slowly.
Yeah.
After the better part of 50 side-outs.
I mean, I can't remember anything like this in King of the Court history, Rich. The team have got over 20 in 2 rounds in a row is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, there may be teams that go through the whole competition and don't get 50 side-outs in all the rounds. We'll put it up in 2 rounds. Another great serve there from Huerta, looking to get out of the basement here.
Yeah, it's a very big weapon for the Spanish, isn't it, this Huerta jump serve. Someone else with a big jump serve is Flo. Oh, Marco is finally out-battled at the net. And Spain have an opportunity to get a bit of a run on.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity for Switzerland, obviously. Great dig.
David Armand.
Yeah.
Again goes to the line.
Your favorite shot.
It really is, because it's the most difficult swing most of the time from that right side to get it back. And you can see his elbow gets back so far, and his wrist as well, that you were saying, to back. It's just impressive.
Well, he just does an incredible job of keeping that arm high, the contact point high, because where you're going to struggle at putting that ball back to the line as a right-hander is if you let that elbow drop, right?
Absolutely. The thing is, even in that previous play, Gavira's jumping in on where he's facing quite late. Doesn't matter. You can see it and turn it back. And we talk about angles a lot, and that's one big angle of David Ullman that's impressive, that opens up the rest of the court as well.
Certainly. Because he puts enough balls cross court to keep you honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Delay. Here is Gavira. Get up. 2-2-4. Sweden, if maybe they're still in front, but maybe just starting to run out a little bit of gas here.
Nice block. Marco staying home in that crossbody, but really being disciplined with his hands there.
I really quite like the way that he's blocking at the moment, Marco Klattega. His hands are not too far apart either. They're very just pressing into the zones. And
nice high shot over the top.
late move into the line from Gavira.
Now, Julius mentioned they don't have kind of a true big blocker, so to speak, on the Spanish side. So guys as physical as Marco Klattega are going to take advantage of that.
Oh!
Watch your chin. Little chin music, we call that.
But once again, the reactions here, absolutely incredible to still try and find something from nothing.
Yeah, just the awareness to go over. Know that your partner just got his bell rung a little bit. Just go over on two with it. Oh, you know this is my jam, Louis.
This is your jam. You know every word to it, right?
On your mark, ready, set, let's go.
I just want to see some old video footage of you mastering this.
You want to see footage of me actually getting jiggy with it?
I don't know.
I might have some videos on my phone. I don't know if you want to see that.
we know each other on a good enough level already, Rich. We'll save that. Reverse back to the line.
Oh my goodness.
Good play.
I was worried about the headbutts there. No harm, no foul on the Spanish side, and point number 5 for the Swedes. Getting jiggy with it.
Ali Huerta. Roman Helvig back down the business end here. Helvig. And even just there was a little bit of a hold from Klattega due to the aggressive approach in the jump set from Armand that really held him for that, like, one little moment that kept the tool on. So situations where he comes in again and rips the line from crazy angles and then can just go back with a knuckle on the sharp one.
Now, really what they're accomplishing is turning disadvantage into advantage. Some of those difficult passes, kind of what would ordinarily be out of system. Oh, there they go. They just remembered they've got a golden ball to play. They didn't need it while they were busy en route to 50 points in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, you don't really need the golden ball when you're making 25 to 50 side outs in the round so far. Yeah,
just keeping big Marco Klattega moving.
I mean, it's sensational what we're watching here, Rich, isn't it?
It really is.
Well,
I mean, wow.
The one time they're out of system.
The fact that Jonathan put that good of a swing on that ball is really impressive.
And another one that's just tweaked on a sharp angle away. Like, the thing that I like about them is they're starting to really come good on the up and down plays too. Like, even off the more standardized plays, they're finding good solutions all the time. Maybe a sign of experience. I think Gavira, who's a few years senior than the Swedish pair, quite enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Certainly the more
there.
he sees something, the more he's going to crack the code a little bit.
The battle here, though, for Spain is to get in the top 2. That's what we're after. Gavira needs to side out, and that's a great turn back to the line from Gavira. A few fans in the crowd supporting Spain here. The side on Huerta tries to chop one back on the angle, but just falling short. Now it's interesting because they're chasing. We're just about to go to the 5-minute timeout here. Embry from the right side charging in. Yeah, heavy from Flo. What are you laughing at now?
You're calling that a heavy flow. I just... a great swing and their 5th point. Yeah, this is a battle. You got to like Aman and Helvig's chances to get to 15 before the clock runs out, which makes every point critical for Switzerland and Spain in pursuit, as only the top 2, as we've mentioned, will go directly to the finals. Our 3rd place finisher will join Oman in the play-in tomorrow.
The playoff taking place just before the finals. Well, it's a very shortened day, but you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great one because, well, the whole week has been absolutely awesome. We certainly do enjoy our time here as we have a look at a huge bit of work from David Armand. Sweden have certainly dominated this session, and they have been a joy to watch because it's not like the 2 teams they're playing against in this final are anywhere short of brilliant either.
Big roar from Marco Kradiger in the put away there. Great set. Real good discipline there at the net from Jonathan Helvig. Close down that line.
Helvig plays wide and great swing. It's not a sharp angle, but hitting the defender deep and high and calculated.
Very calculated, yeah. It almost looks on some of those tempo balls that he gets underneath that ball a little bit, but he hits it right where he wants to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely, and when you're underneath the ball, you're going to lose a few of your angles, but you can still make a good decision on the ones you do have.
Well, yeah, and it, you know, I mean, I'm kind of careful to say it looks like he's underneath the ball because I don't know that he actually is. It's so consistently in the same position.
Yeah, very, very true. 3:45, still another 2 rounds here. Later on as Flo's let one go with a jump serve. And Spain are now in a good position, but they're in a bad position if the ball goes out like that, but they had their opportunity. And that's just got to be slightly frustrating for them because in theory, they're running out of opportunities.
Yeah, especially as the Swedes are only 2 points away from closing this out, short of the 15-minute time.
I love that swing.
13 points, they need 2 more points, ladies and gentlemen.
And the fact that he can do that to you as well just makes it so tough as a blocking defense, doesn't it?
It's crazy because he opens up the sharp one with the deep line.
Yeah, I mean, Switzerland wants to just give that one to him.
Yeah, and there you go. They have given it to them, and they've taken this round. I don't know how many side outs.
Oh, we're calling it close to 65, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere close 65 in 45 minutes. I mean, I'm interested to know what the boys say with Julius Brink in just a moment, but that was sensational.
Yeah, certainly they deserve. They deserve their place in the finals, and they deserve the rest not having to play the play-in because, man, they put on quite a display here. Razzie told us they're on their way up, and certainly they proved that today. Just an unbelievable side-out performance. Really a performance in all aspects from the Swedes, the under-21 world champions, excuse me, and we'll talk to them now with Julius.
Congratulations. I mean, in overall, we stopped counting at, let's say, 65 shoutouts. Do you need some more mind talking to breathe deeper? Or do you find words for that performance? That was outstanding, boys.
It was just incredible. We really found our side out good and just kept signing out and it kept working. So it was super fun, but I don't know if it was the smartest thing to take like so many points in the beginning because we got really tired here at the last round.
We all doubt that, so we were not sure if you still have gas for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, after the first 2 rounds I was like so exhausted, but we just have to keep going and we practice a lot, like very long practices all the time, so we're used to just keep pushing when we're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is that little piece of that golden ball. I mean, you walked away and you actually picked it. What a smart idea. It was perfectly picked.
Yeah, I thought it is first to 15. Doesn't matter if we take it now or if we take it later in the round. And we had a good flow, so I thought it's a big chance that we can increasing our lead if we use the golden ball.
Yeah, it was very sympathetic to use it and not finishing it with 65,000, taking it home. Yeah, thank you, boys. Okay, so you deserve everything tonight. See you in the final tomorrow. Good rest. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They really do deserve everything tonight, don't they?
They really do. I mean, that's by far the best performance we've seen from a team
There
in
is
any
Razzie
round of
walking up the stairs by us.
our King of the Court competition. I mean, just world class right there.
I'm going to go as far out and say we haven't never seen a performance as good as that.
Right. Yeah, it's almost hard to describe. That they could be so
Which is more than what we can say looking through the photos and videos on your phone.
Right, exactly.
But an unbelievable evening here as there's still 2 more semis, Rich, on the way, but we are just in awe of the jump-setting Swedes again here, and you can say whatever you like about the way they play the game, but they're consistent, they're energetic, and they really do, well, prove themselves as great decision makers and problem solvers in every situation at the moment. There is Luke A.
Yeah, and they're really kind of changing the game.
They really are. Well, that's enough from us for the time being. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be back in around 40 minutes, 20:30 for the next round of semi-finals. So we'll see you there, Rich. It's been fun, isn't it?
Always.
See you there.
Just like a fun for your woman, now I know. Like them not care, don't even do something.